Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the Roku Channel movie Weird, the Al Yankovic Story. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, if you can, please hit that subscribe button. And also, if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you feel lucky or you feel like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. Best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right. So, as promised, I will do a spoiler free version of this first. And so, this can be found on the Roku channel, by the way. Weird, the Al Yankovic story. The Roku channel is free, so you don't have to pay anything for it. You can download. I have it on my Fire TV Cube. So, yeah, I downloaded it there and just watched it off of that. So, it was right there. Really easy to do. So yeah, it's free. It's done by the guys from Funny or Die. So they're the ones that promoted it, or I guess bankrolled it, you could say. And it's how can I say this? So it's it's supposed to be the life of Weird Al Yankovic, really, but it's a parody. Is really what this is. So it's a comedy, obviously. It is a parody. Daniel Radcliffe looks uncannily like a young Weird Al Yankovic, um, and it's funny as well. Yeah, Jack Black as Wolfman Jack was funny. I was kind of surprised they didn't get Pee Wee Herman to do Pee Wee Herman, but they didn't bring Paul Rubens, and maybe they asked him and he didn't want to do it. Actually, one of my shocking things out of that was Emo Phillips as Salvador Dali, but that was just one of the weird things for me. Anyway, there's a lot of people in this movie. Um, Sirius says, my, this here Anklin guy, maybe Vader someday. Okay, yeah, got it. Lyrics. So this is a total parody of his life. He basically what they did was is they went it's not UHF territory, which by the way, I love UHF. It's one of my favorite movies, and unfortunately that crashed and burned. That came out in 89, I believe is what it was, and got savaged by critics, and also didn't do well in the theater. It was one of my guilty, not even my guilty pleasures. I actually used to show that thing to people all the time, and it's a funny movie. This is in the same vein, but toned down quite a bit. Is it as funny as some other stuff? Probably not. They actually really toned down a lot of the comedy in it. So it's funny, but it's not like over the top funny kind of stuff. It's still better than some of the stuff that other people are putting out there. So is it worth your time to go and see it? If you're a Weird Al fan and you like the songs, and you want to see a bunch of cameos of people that you didn't know were in there, and just have a good time, it's worth your time. It's actually a fun movie. It's um it's an unusual movie. Rachel Evan Woods, who plays Madonna, does an awesome job of that. Yeah, I just can't say it was pretty funny. She does a really dead on impersonation of her, and yeah, I liked what she did. She did a good job of that. So kind of a 180 from what she had been doing before. Also, there's a narrator, by the way, that's supposed to be Weird Al in the very beginning, and I didn't realize it's Diedrich Bader, who is, he's great. I mean, Diedrich Bader is just great in everything he's in, but I didn't recognize him, and he narrates the entire movie, which is just hilarious. Yeah. Siri says, I'm on my phone right now in 7%, and that took like 3 minutes. Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, the Alice Cooper, cameo wasn't that great. Or the Alice Cooper the person playing Alice Cooper wasn't that great. There were some that were good and some that weren't. So, let me go to the spoiler versions now. So, spoiler alert, I am gonna spoil the movie. If you have not seen the movie, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section, giving you enough time. All right. You can pause, whatever you need to do. Okay. All right. So, um, the whole thing with the Madonna, uh, uh, the Madonna, of them getting together and being a couple, power couple, and all this stuff is hilarious. And then the Pablo Escobar stuff that's in there as well, and Madonna becoming a drug lord and killing Weird Al. um, It just made me fucking laugh. It really did, because I mean, that's when they took it to the extreme, and that's when it kinda goes into, UHF territory a bit more, which is what I liked. I liked it when it started getting further into the really weird shit. Um, the beginning portions of it um, are great. I mean, it's a slow burn as it's grinding up, grinding up, grinding up, and it's at the end that it's hilarious. Um a lot of people saying it was a little discerning seeing they have someone playing Coolio who's sitting out in the audience when he's playing Amish Paradise. And you remember Coolio just died the week this came out. He passed away. And then also in the credits, and also you got to watch through the entire credits because there's a brand new song that Weird Al does that basically is the entire movie. He sings the entire movie in the credits. It's hilarious as well. But there's clips, there's photoshopped images of him and everything, and him with the one of them is with him with the Queen, and that was another thing because the Queen had just passed away as this movie had come out as well, and so there's a whole bunch of these um, little things that I guess kind of shocked people when it came out because of the deaths that had happened, but uh, it's it's okay. It really is actually it's a nice you know, it's a kind of a touching tribute to it, to them. Oh, sorry, I got lost in the chat here. Raymond says, I had no idea Al had such an interesting life. How come I never heard of this? Yeah, I didn't realize that he had actually that Eat It came out before Beat It. That was one of my things that I didn't realize, and I'm kind of it just that one alone just made me fucking laugh really, really hard. Um, So yeah, it's a good movie. It's a lot of fun. Um, it's a it's a great movie. Go and watch it. It's one of those things that you can sit back, relax. You don't need to think about it, and it's just gonna make you chuckle, if anything. The whole thing with Dr. Demento, and for those of you kids at home who don't know who the fuck Dr. Demento is, I know people in my age group know who this is. Dr. Demento had I guess kind of a radio show that went across the nation, and it's usually late at night, things of that nature, and they were just some weird ass songs that he would play. He would play parody songs. He would play clips of comedy. It was just really, really weird shit that he would do, and it caught on with a large group of people on the radio. Um, and I mean, stuff like, Bill Mummy's, fish heads, roly poly, that kind of thing. That was Dr. Demento. And again, this is before MTV. Once MTV came out, then this kind of stuff also had a little niche in there as well, but it wasn't as big as Dr. Demento. Um, Dr. Demento being a big part of Weird Al coming into being is also in this as well, which is great. Rainn Wilson plays a great Dr. Demento. He does a great job of that. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. And definitely, like I said, go and check out UHF. It's one of those underrated gems of a movie that just has so much in it. And it's got early Kramer in it too, from before he was on Seinfeld. Stanley Spadowski, Drinking from the Fire Hose. I mean, that whole thing. Um, Siri says, "I'm 30. I have no idea what the fuck Dr. Demento is." So Dr. Demento, like I said, a radio show. Go and look it up, Sirius. It's some really weird shit. And again, you got to remember, we didn't have internet back then. We didn't have cell phones. We did listen to the radio. We played video games on Ataris and Segas. Yeah, Sega was out at that time. Um, Things of that nature. So that's why stuff like radio still worked for our generation, for my generation, I guess you could say. Uh, so yeah, that's the weird thing about it. And also we had our Doctor Who we got through PBS. Also Red Dwarf, things of that nature. Anything that was British sci-fi or anything weird like that. The Prisoner also came through PBS. We didn't have cable until late 70s, I wanna say, somewhere around there, and that's when I remember, I mean, there was really, like, there was porn pretty much on the early cable too, so, um, and in the middle of the day too, so there you go. Raymond says, "So did Weird Al have any legal trouble in terms of copyright in real life, or was the parody law already passed?" Um I believe he actually asked a lot of the people who did it. So that's one of the other things that this movie is the only thing that's true. Well, one of the true things in this movie is this thing called the Yankovic bump. The Yankovic bump is whenever Weird Al would parody a song, the band who he'd be parodying would get a bump in sales. They would get like another 2,000,000, 3,000,000 in sales of their old records because of Weird Al's parody. That was called the Yankovic bump. So bands were actually clamoring for him to actually do parodies of their songs. And the Coolio thing, Amish Paradise, there's an interesting story in that one, is where Weird Al's record company got the okay from Coolio's record company to do Amish Paradise based on Gangsta Paradise, by the way. And Coolio was not okay with it, which he found out later on. And Weird Al actually wrote him a letter apologizing to him. And then Coolio was okay with him after that. It was, this weird thing. So, yeah, it's pretty funny. It really is. But everything else, yeah, people really wanted him to do parodies of their songs. And he would more or less just ask people, for those that he wanted to do a song to, he would ask. And I know he has some that he never got the permission to, and he only does them in concert. So he doesn't make any money off of them other than performing them in concert for songs that he's already doing. But yeah, he doesn't have them recorded. And I can't remember what they are offhand off the top of my head at the moment, but they are there. Penn says he also introduced me to a cappella music with the Flying Pickets. Yeah, exactly. Dr. Demento did so much for our generation, just in weird shit that we got exposed to. Um, so yeah, it's kind of funny. Siri says I'd be willing to bet he had trouble at some point. Oh yeah, he did. Um, look up Existential Blues, The Wizard. Yeah. Serious as if it malfunctioned, we were supposed to smack it smartly on a hard, flat surface. Nice. Have you ever did you never did books on tape pen, the Harry Potter series? So there's audiobooks out there too serious. They're digital recordings now that do this. I can't do audiobooks. So fun fact, whenever I hear people just droning on and on and on, I go to sleep. Which is why I don't do audiobooks in the car, because obviously that would be a bad thing. So, yeah, I can't do that yeah. Also, I just can't do it at home either. I can't just put on, headphones and listen to someone reading a book. It just I'm out cold. Yeah, just doesn't do it for me. Ah. Pence, I haven't I did Audible for a few books, mostly The Expanse. Yeah, I can't. Yeah. I just can't. That's why I have a backlog of books. I just looked over and I saw a couple of books over there. That's why I looked that way. So good movie, a lot of fun. Um, Daniel Radcliffe is just great in this. Everyone's actually really good in this, except for that guy who's Alice Cooper, like Penn was saying. Yeah, the Alice Cooper was weird. Uh, I got why it was there, but it just didn't. Uh, the Patton Oswalt cameo kind of threw me for a second, but then I started laughing. But yeah, it just was weird. And also the Gallagher like the Gallagher thing just made me fucking laugh too. It really did. And you kids at home probably don't know who the fuck Gallagher is either if you're, you know, earlier than a certain age. And Gallagher is this comedian who used to smash watermelons, fruit, all kinds of shit like that on stage with a giant sledgehammer. And people in the front row would dress up in raincoats and also bring sheets of plastic because it would just rain out into the audience. And so all those jokes, again, if you're not of a certain age, you're not going to get them. Just because Gallagher was a weird dude. Again, it's a certain niche in time that comedy actually worked. Doesn't work now. Um, and fun fact, Gallagher actually has a twin brother. So, yeah. Was Keanu Reeves in it? Strangely enough, he wasn't, but Conan O'Brien was. Conan O'Brien plays Andy Warhol. And I shit you not, that made me laugh probably the hardest was, Conan O'Brien as Andy Warhol. That just I don't know why, but it really did just made me fucking laugh really, really hard. And he was just doing he was being creepy Conan is what it was. And it's Andy Warhol. It totally is Andy Warhol. So yeah, it just made me laugh. Penn says it's such a weird thing to become popular smashing water. I know, really. Oh, you didn't know who that was, Penn? Yeah, that was Andy Warhol. So Akiva Schaffer is the one who plays Alice Cooper in this, and I'm sorry, but yeah, you missed the mark. The person who played Divine, Nina West, spot on. That was actually an interesting, throwback as well. But I'm telling you, Emo Phillips as Salvador Dali. So Emo Phillips came about around the same time as Weird Al Yankovic, and I think actually they worked shows together, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he was actually in UHF, as a matter of fact. He was in UHF. They did work together. So having him as Salvador Dali when there's another character, the Tiny Tim character, who I at first thought was Emo Phillips, and then I'm like, no, that's not him. But I totally missed that Emo Phillips was Salvador Dali, and it was one of those weird things that I was like, really? So yeah, great stuff. I mean, they have so many people that are in here. Seth Green plays a radio DJ. Josh Groban plays a waiter. Lynn Manuel, what's his name, is a doctor in this. And yeah, there's all kinds of people that are in here. So it's a who's who of comedians that are playing parts in here. Um, so yeah, definitely go and check it out. I think, yeah, Keanu and Weird Al would get along. I definitely think they would get along. But yeah, it's you're waiting for the buddy cop spinoff of Keanu and Weird Al. He has an accordion. He follows the rules. Together, there. Fill in the blanks. So, yeah, good stuff. Go and watch it. Like I said, it's for free on Roku. It's worth your time. It's fun. It really is fun. It'll take your mind off things if are having a shitty day. And yeah, and like I said, it's free. So there you have it. So what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be off. Sorry, by the way, I had to postpone this for a day. Just yeah, I was burned out after work yesterday, and I just really, really needed to move this to today. Is what happened. But tomorrow I'm going to be off because I'm going to go see Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. and it's almost 3 hours long. So yeah, Friday is going to be the peripheral. There we go, the peripheral. Oh, I blanked on what it was for a second there. Saturday will be Titans, episode 3 of Titans. Sunday will be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and genre stuff you guys want to talk about when we talk about it. And Monday, I'm going to be off. And then Tuesday, we'll roll back around again with Is It Worth My Time? And I forget what I'm doing. I actually, it's going to be Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. But that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I like the peripheral as well. The peripheral is actually pretty good. And Titans, the second episode was pretty shitty. Especially when the whole thing with Titans, when they said, oh, the LexCorp, what happened to Lex happened to the rest of LexCorp. And I'm like, okay, so why did Superboy get arrested then if all of LexCorp's, you know, uh, CEOs died in the same way that Lex did? I mean, hello, that's a pattern. Why are you arresting the one guy who's in, anyway? Yeah, it was stupid. Very, very stupid. They could call it Whoa the movie. Ah, no. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So with that said, I should probably let you guys go. Thank you to everybody joining me tonight in the chat. Superboy used super speed to kill them all. No, he had other ways of doing it. And why do you wait till now? So anyway, I digress. Uh Thanks, everybody. Thank you to everyone who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you for made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you know who you are out there. Take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see here, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, you can go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. And if you also go over to Suspended Fanimation there, you're going to see underneath what's going to be on for the rest of this, or what I'm doing for the week. I have what's coming up, future stuff, like a kind of a smattering of stuff that's going to be coming out for, I think, until March or April of next year. So I've got all the geek stuff that we might be interested in. So remember when Batman beat Joker to death with a crowbar? I do remember that, unfortunately. Yeah. I know some really horrible stuff on there, but that's why we have the Al Yankovic story to kind of balance that out. So, and also Pennyworth. Pennyworth. By the way, the third season of Pennyworth is on HBO Max, and they've been doing a new episode every Thursday. And it's decidedly wacky as well. It's not as wacky as the second season. The second season was fucking wacky. This third season isn't as wacky, so which is kind of unusual, but it's still good. It's interesting. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will let you guys go. Thank you, everyone, again. And I will see you again on Friday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up picking up the accordion and writing yourself some tunes. And even though it's against your parents' wishes, because, the accordion is the devil's music. So thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Friday. Stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. They don't work without the boosters. And stay safe out there. And yes, that is Pennyworth, Sirius. It's that Pennyworth. Yes, it's and they even put a subtitle on it now, said the origins of Batman's butler. That's what they called it now, as they say Pennyworth, the origins of Batman's butler. Because obviously no one was getting that Pennyworth was about Alfred Pennyworth. So yeah. Anyway, thanks, everybody. I will see you guys again on Friday. Until then, have a good rest of your night and stay safe out there. I will see you again on Friday, like I just said, because I'm doing a Minnesota goodbye. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your night. Good night.